to deal with change as a leader. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed and fatigued right now, being charged to deal with change happening in and around your team and yourself. I understand. I have been there more times than I care to count. And I'm about to share 3 major secrets that's going to help enable you, your success, your mental well-being. And they're secrets that I have learned from working with Fortune 100 executives all over the world, inspiring and enabling their growth through change. You ready to hear them? Let's get it. It can be really stressful dealing with change while striving to keep yourself and your team motivated and engaged on the work. Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 simple secrets that's going to help enable your success as well as your team's success, including understanding how the change impacts you and why the changes are necessary, as well as what you need to be sure you are consistently communicating. And I have a little bonus secret for you as well. Okay, the first secret, and it might seem a little bit obvious, but it's so important it can't be overlooked. You need to understand how the change is impacting you and your team or organization. Exactly what changes will be necessary for you and the team. Is it going to be changes in responsibilities? Is it going to be changes in the way the organization is structured? Is it going to be changes in the type of work that you're doing? Really get crystal clear on how that change is implicating your team, and in turn, what your team will need to do to help make that change successful. Now, this is so critical because as you're going through these changes, so many questions are going to pop up, right? What does this mean for me? What does this mean I'm going to have to do? And it's important that you're armed with the answers to these questions. Now, I know you're not always going to have all the correct responses, but strive as best you can to engage with your partners and with your leadership to understand how your team and you are going to be implicated and impacted because of the changes coming down. This second secret, so powerful. You need to understand the why behind the change. Why is this change needed? Why is this change so important? And why does this change need to happen now? Getting the response to this question really means engaging with your leaders, engaging with the ones that are the architects of the change, if you will. Really get crystal clear, why is this a business imperative? And you might also ask the question of, how is this going to help my team, the employees, the workforce? How is this going to help our lives better? How is this going to help streamline our lives, make things more simple, make things more efficient? How is our lives going to be improved because of making this change? You know, when we can marry not only the success metrics, the data, the quantitative reasoning behind a change, but also that more emotional tie-in behind the why, that our lives are going to be improved, that the lives of our clients or our customers are going to be improved, that's when you can really inspire motivation in the individuals responsible for making the change happen. So really get bold and challenge your leaders. Why is this change important? Why is it a business imperative? And why are we choosing to move forward at this time, as opposed to not at all or waiting until a later time? By the way, if you're digging this, please like, subscribe, all the buttons, all the clicking, so that you can make sure you get the latest videos to your inbox. I do these things all the time, rich with content, high value. If you like it, if you dig it, click and get it. Okay, the third secret is all around consistency and flexibility. These need to be your best friends as you're moving through change and dealing with change. You need to be able to consistently communicate expectations as well as status and progress up, across, and down the organization. Always ask yourself what's needed, what's required of my leadership, of my stakeholders, of my functional partners in order for me and my team to be successful in delivering this change. Remain crystal clear on what that expectation is. And of course, remain flexible if that needs to change or if you need to make a pivot. But if you do so, make sure you're communicating that slight pivot down to your team, across to your partners, as well as up to leadership. You know, I can remember when I was leading a huge innovation in the battery industry, and we were kind of set on the formulation or the product design that we wanted to introduce to market. Well, all of a sudden, senior leadership came down and said, we've had to make a change to the requirements of the performance that we want to put out into this battery technology. And because of that, and really it was a push from the commercial team and from our customers, we had to completely change that formulation. We had to improve the performance to a higher target than where we had been before. Now, of course, this introduced a lot of havoc, a lot of confusion, and a lot of change. And it was up to me to get crystal clear on the why, to get crystal clear on exactly what we needed to do to improve or change that performance, and then communicate that to the team. Now, this is really where that consistency and the flexibility comes in. You have to remain flexible to changing priorities, to changing demands. The more flexible that you can be, as well as communicating changes out to your team, the better enabled you're going to be to move through that change successfully. So stay open, stay flexible, and it's going to sound a little bit cliche, but stay comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because when change is around, that discomfort is just right around the corner and usually will always sit with you. But trust, if you're in that zone of discomfort, it means you're growing. So accept the growth, stay flexible, and then consistently communicate those expectations, the progress, and the status out to your team, as well as your partners and leadership. All right, I got a little bonus secret for you, and this one is so important, and it's one that's really been underlined and put in bold because of all the work that I've done with clients across many different industry verticals all over the world. Everyone will wear change differently. When a new change comes through, when an announcement comes out, when you need to make some changes to your team or your organization, you're gonna have people that are gung-ho, that wanna step in and be like, yes, let's do this, I'm ready. You're gonna have others that are gonna be a lot slower, that are a little bit more hesitant or resistant to really leaning into the change. And that's okay. This is a fact. This is the nature of a change journey. Everyone's gonna be at a different spot in that journey at different times, wearing that change differently. And so embrace that, accept it, and know that the way that you coach, the way that you bring individuals along, it's gonna look a little bit differently from individual to individual. But strive to stay curious, to understand how a certain individual is managing the change, and then what you can do as a leader to step in and support that individual. Understand, not everyone is going to be exuberant about change, and of course, not everyone is going to be resistant as well. There's going to be some type of landscape, some type of differences from person to person on your team. Recognize that, embrace it, and then manage your leadership style and the way that you communicate with these individuals accordingly. And now for the best part, something for free. So I actually want to gift you a free section of a keynote recording that I delivered to executives going through tremendous change, leading change internally, as well as dealing with a lot of market disruption. And these were some insights that I shared with them, insights pulled from our research, working to understand change and emotion in the workplace. And it's yours today for free. All you gotta do is click the link below. I wanna make sure that you have the data, the research, and the insights to successfully grow through even your greatest change challenges. I'm Cassandra Worthy, and until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.